Hello and welcome to Popcorn Digest. If you watched The Phantom Menace and thought, I wish there was more Senate hearings in my fantasy film, then this is the film for you. The Empire of Izmir is under threat of being torn apart by Jeremy Irons' aggressive scenery chewing in this poorly realised adventure romp.
Kind of wish I'd never seen this film.
Oh, right. That bad, eh?
It will live on with me forever now. And it will never be undone.
It's like a darkness in your soul now, just infecting your very being.
Yeah, it's like that thing inside Bruce Payne. And
is it making your ears really red?
yeah, I'm getting really cold lips and really red ears.
All right, now, remember, I got paid a lot of money for this, and it only aired in Japan. Ichiban!
Do you have any experience with the board game at all?
No. I mean, I know some friends of mine, they play things like that. I mean, they tried enticing me to do a Thunderbirds role-playing game, although that had nothing to do with that kind of role-playing, I think.
Did you just get invited to a sex party?
Yeah.
A Thunderbirds-themed sex party?
I got invited to Tracy Island, in inverted commas. Yeah.
Yeah, Thunderbirds are go.
Yeah, he wanted to introduce me to Thunderbird 1.
Well, although I've never really played the tabletop game, I do have experience with the film. I am one of the probably 6 people that actually saw this film at the cinema when it was first released. I walked out thinking, yeah, that was okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was the best film ever, but we walked out feeling positive about it.
Well, and then Lord of the Rings came out.
And then Lord of the Rings came out. That completely reshaped how anybody approached fantasy. I deserve a lifetime of humiliation for ever liking anything in this film, unironically.
You deserve a lifetime of pain.
I might decide to let you die quickly.
There's a lot of that in this film.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of like grand fist shaking, you know, that kind of overacting.
I think it should be called Gesticulation the Movie or something like that.
Or
There's
testiculation.
Yeah. There's a lot of overacting in this. I think there's just a lot of people going, this is shit, but let's have some fun. For some people, anyway.
Yeah.
Other people just look petrified that they're even there.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
Thora Birch.
Yeah, all of her lines are just like monotonous, and it's clearly going for that Queen Amidala character, which in retrospect just seems ridiculous because Queen Amidala is one of the most nothing characters ever to exist.
I'm not even
There's
sure
nothing
she's
there.
even doing that. It just looks like she doesn't want to be there and is just reading the dialogue off some dialogue board, off some cue card.
Imagine a director coming up to her and saying, Thora, excuse me, could you do it again, but with less energy, less intensity? Can you just bring it down? I really want to be going to sleep during this take.
Slower and less intense?
Yeah.
Wait! How come I always gotta get the dwarf? Damn!
Marlon Wayans stars in this film, but for a very short time as well. It's clear that his time on the set was limited because he was currently filming the infinitely better Requiem for a Dream at the same time. So he only had 2 weeks for Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow. Wasn't this just in his like downtime as well? It was like right in the middle of filming.
Yeah.
He was doing Requiem for a Dream, and they must have had 2 weeks worth of downtime for scenes what he wasn't in, and then decided to do this film in the middle, and then come back to Requiem for a Dream. Like, no wonder he's so hyper.
But could you imagine as well? He's going off to do a film, like the most devastating film about drug use that's ever been made.
Yeah.
And then in his downtime, he's coming to the Dungeons and Dragons set to kind of like scream and jump about the set and stuff and destroy things.
I'm pretty sure he just used this film as playtime.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Just to get his toys what he's doing anyway, because he just feels like he's pissing around.
As insufferable as his character is, and boy is he insufferable.
Yeah,
he does seem like he's having some fun at least.
Yeah.
When I was watching the film, I just did a write-up of the character archetypes that this film shares with Star Wars and where it overlaps. So I'm just going to go through what I actually wrote. You feel free to correct me at any point if you feel that. You've got the main character, Ridley, who is a cross between Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. He is the thief with a heart of gold. And you've got his love interest, who is a mage. Her name is Marina Pretensa. She's like the Princess Leia of the film. They don't actually get on, but there's supposed to be an affair between them, like brewing kind of thing, a love affair. And then you've got the Marlon Wayans character, who's Snails. And I wrote that he was the R2-D2 and C-3PO character rolled into one. But you actually had a better comparison.
No, I say he's definitely the Jar Jar Binks.
And I think you are absolutely correct in that. He does a lot of jumping about the set, screaming and like, I guess, appealing to young kids in that George Lucas way. You've got the dwarf Elwood Gutworthy, who doesn't actually say anything, and he mostly just growls things from time to time, and he's the Chewbacca of the piece. You got Bruce Payne's Damodar, who we've talked about, or Damodar, yeah. And he's the Darth Vader of the film. And then you got Jeremy Irons, who's Prothean. He's definitely Palpatine. With scenery chewing as well. And then you got Thora Birch's Empress Savina, who is the Queen Amidala.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's it. I mean, they are...
Oh, no, and then you've got Tom Baker as Yoda / Galadriel.
Of course. We can't forget Tom Baker, yeah. Oh, and Jabba the Hutt. We've got Richard O'Brien as Jabba the Hutt.
Yes, well, I think you must be very accomplished to have such a precious morsel traveling with you.
The dialogue in The Phantom Menace and the prequels feels like Shakespearean now compared to this.
Don't hurt her!
Then give me the rod!
This is probably some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard in a mainstream film.
I have to repeat my favourite line in this film, which is from Bruce Payne's Damodar.
Yeah.
When he approaches Marlon Wayne's character, Snails, they have a one-on-one fight that eventually ends in Snails' death. But when Damodar's trying to smack talk Snails, he approaches him and says, it's just like a thief. Always stealing things that don't belong to you.
Just like you thieves. Always taking things that don't belong to you.
I was like, that's literally the dictionary definition of thief. that's not smack talk at all. He kind of like walks into the room and gone, Webster's defines thieves as always stealing things that don't belong to them.
Oh, I think my other favourite line of dialogue is, oh, look, I've cut her. What a shame. Which is repeated later on when Thingy cuts him. Yeah, it's like that's supposed to be the real big air punch moment. Like, he said that thing again! Yeah!
That very memorable thing!
I'd definitely say this is the number one placeholder dialogue, the movie, because there's so many things where... It's when you have, like, the Marina character, one of the first lines of dialogue, she says, I always felt I was meant for something more than this.
I should be doing something more than shelving books.
That kind of thing. It feels like it was something like out of a Disney song. She's about to burst into song.
It's almost like that's actually part of her like character description when they've had to write like if they ever did actually write a treatment.
Yeah.
Like next to her character, it says she's always felt like she was more than this. You know, and to actually have the character come out and say that, it's just like, yeah, we get it.
The moment you deliver me the rod, I'll ensure that it vacate the premises.
But this time, Damodar, don't fail me.
Jeremy Irons, he's just hamming it up for everything it's worth, and he's making crazy noises like in one of them. That's like one of his lines at one point when he's talking to a dragon. He just simply looks at it and goes and it's perfect.
And it's one of those things where, like, if it was directed by someone who could direct, it would be like, just tone that down a little bit, Jeremy. But it's like...
Just bring it down a couple of notches.
But it's just like the people involved are just totally oblivious to what he's actually doing, and they're just letting... I'd imagine all these are first takes as well.
Yeah. But could you imagine being in Courtney Solomon's shoes and talking to Oscar winner Jeremy Irons and having anything to say to him other than just continue that. That's fine.
Because there's hardly anything to grab hold of in terms of any quality. You're just looking at this thing going, that's shit. Yeah, and there's literally little scraps of things, but they're usually because they're not good, but they're good because... This guy knows he's in a shit film and he's just playing it to the hilt because, you know, this is him just letting off steam and having some fun, really.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's something I have to actually commend this film for, because we have seen actors before in these kind of shit roles where they come in, they say their lines and they cash their checks. Whereas the likes of Richard O'Brien and Jeremy Irons especially, they're having a lot of fun with what must be a job that's an in-between job for them.
Yeah.
It's so inconsequential. They know nobody's going to go see it. And yet they are given like crazy over-the-top performances that require a lot of energy and a lot of work, I imagine, but they're still having a lot of fun.
What say you?
One thing I haven't mentioned as well is that these dragons, they're so poorly realised, and there's 20 or 30 of them on shot at the same time at one point, and they're clearly just all the same model, with one version of them slightly recoloured. But even from a design level, they're really poorly designed caricatures of dragons, really.
Yeah, because you meant to have the red dragons and the gold dragons, but everything's so murky that you can't really tell the difference between one or the other. And it's funny as well, for a film that's called Dungeons and Dragons, you've got one dragon at the start who's in it for about all of 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the dragons don't appear again for another 83 minutes
and then they appear out of nowhere.
95-minute film. And they just appear out of nowhere, and they disappear again at the end.
We don't ever get to know any of the dragons as characters either.
And the fact is, that's all there in the source material as well, because I know that in the Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game that the dragons possess quite high levels of intelligence, because I know in the role-playing that things are measured by different things, and one of them is intelligence. I know the dragons are very, very high, and they have their own culture and everything. And none of that's played on it. They're just there to be your monster.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I want to mention as well is, at the end was meant to have this celebration scene, but then we cut to a graveyard, which just looks like a normal graveyard anywhere.
Yeah.
But then,
and Snail's grave as well looks like it's been there for decades.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, this Snail's character in the end is kind of technically meant to be like a war hero, really.
Yeah.
Why has he got such a shit grave?
Shouldn't he have a statue somewhere or something like that?
Yeah, he's got a couple of pebbles on top of each other.
Yeah.
With his name inscribed in one of the pebbles.
And even that's poor CGI.
Yeah. In a weird way, this reminded me of the Alan Quatermain scene in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen as well.
Oh, it is? It's the same ending?
The same ending.
It's the same ending as League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and I saw a crossover there.
But this executed much poorly than that. I mean, it makes that film look like a masterpiece as well.
Yeah, it does.
Because at least it was sort of semi-competently made.
In fact, this is probably this film's legacy, is to make anything that's compared to it look much better. So if you think that you have a bad film, compare it to Dungeons and Dragons, and then see how it fares. Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the show. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you can catch the full-length podcasts both on our YouTube page and on any podcast hosting platform such as Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. See you soon.
It's the Popcorn Digest with Gareth and